As you can see, I went to vote. Oh, I'm so, my brain feels like it's in such a fog because of my allergies. I voted for Trump. I'm here in Florida. Today's the first day of early voting. And I just came back. I figured, well, since I had to drive out 20 minutes to the early voting location, I decided to stop off at Publix, which is kind of like along the way. And I got me some antibiotic-free ground beef. Publix has a really good deal on organic ground beef, or antibiotic-free is what I need because of my yeast allergies. So all my meat has to be antibiotic-free. Like I need antibiotic-free chicken, antibiotic-free beef, and Walmart is very expensive. So I bought a steak at Walmart that was free of hormones and antibiotic-free. I'm thinking I got hormone-free. Anyways, my body's going to let me know if it likes it or not in a little bit. They had a sale on pears, so I got that because pears is on the list of foods for me for low salicylate diet. And let me tell you what I've discovered. My allergies have been driving me crazy. It's like there's nothing I can eat. But here's what this morning, my blood pressure was 107/70. My weight is 133 pounds. Waistline 29 inches, pulse 80, a little elevated for me. The pollen count is high where I live right now, and I'm allergic to one or several of the pollens. And my pulse when I'm doing well with allergies is about 60. So I have an elevated pulse for me. And this means that my body's responding to allergens. About an hour after taking Allegra, my waist lost about half an inch and went down to 28.5 inches. So there's a lot of inflammation going on in my body. But my pulse remained at 80. I haven't taken it since I came back from Publix. I was outside, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's even higher, but I'm not going to measure it right now. I suspect the elevated pulse is caused by the pollen count, which seems to be going up because I have an allergy headache in spite of the Allegra I took this morning. My headache seems to want to return. It went away for a little while with the Allegra, and then now it's kind of gradually coming back up again. I ate a lot of salty salmon canned yesterday, which agrees with my salicylate intolerance. They recommend canned salmon as a meat. You know, it's kind of salty, so my blood pressure went up from 65, the bottom reading, to 70. I tried to find the lowest salt version that I could, but at Walmart they don't have a no salt version for canned salmon. And so I went to Publix, and they had a little better selection, but their no salt version's really expensive. So I said, forget it. I'll just get the lowest salt version for wild caught Alaskan salmon that I could find, and I found one that's reasonably priced. To compensate, I will not put any salt on any of my vegetables. And I'm going to be baking some frozen salmon today and probably putting very little salt on it. I may not even salt it, which I already know agrees with me. I'm going to make it very simple and perhaps add some lime juice. Limes are supposed to be good for people with salicylate intolerance, so I'll see how that goes. Anybody who suffers from food allergies, check out my health page. I woke up with a headache and took some Allegra on an empty stomach this morning. I seem to react a bit to the Walmart brand of Allegra. I suspect it's some sort of filler in there, but I do fine with some Allegra that I got online. Allegra seems to work better than Zyrtec for me right now, but I need to take it on an empty stomach with water for the best results. About a half an hour after taking it, my headache did get better. I tried heated organic milk yesterday, and it seems I can only tolerate it in very small amounts. Apparently, I'm having a little bit of problem with dairy. Heating it helps a little bit. Non-organic iceberg lettuce was a disaster. At Publix today, they had organic iceberg, but it was really wilted and brown looking and gooey, and I said, forget it. Skip. So they didn't have anything else besides that. Iceberg lettuce is the best lettuce if you have salicylate intolerance. And I think I have multiple chemical sensitivities as well, so I'm trying to get organic in the produce. I do better with organic romaine lettuce, even though its salicylate levels are considered moderate. Probably because because I got the organic version, I do better with that than with the non-organic iceberg. So I might be eating a little bit of organic romaine lettuce today. Organic carrots do not agree with me. I tried cooking them; it didn't work. They're considered moderate in salicylate levels, and they just don't agree with me right now. And I'm reacting to raw, non-organic green and red cabbage. But if I cook it or steam it, I'm fine. And I'm pretty good with non-organic onions and garlic. They don't seem to be a problem for me. Non-organic raw asparagus bothers me a little bit, but I had some today and it didn't seem like a problem. Asparagus and cabbage are some produce that you don't have to buy organic. The pesticide levels on those don't tend to be high. And so I'll get those at Walmart when I see them. Canned wild-caught salmon gives me no symptoms. I react very slightly to canned sardines, but today I didn't seem to react to them. My load might have been a little high yesterday because I was trying all different kinds of foods to see how my body was reacting. My body tends to react pretty quickly to most of the foods, with the exception of broccoli and almonds. On that one, there's like a 1-day delayed reaction, and then I get terrible bloating and diarrhea. Fish seems to be my best meat right now. Lately, chicken and fish, I get some slight symptoms with that. I'm not sure why. I'm wondering if that might be part of what they call oral allergy syndrome, where the body cross-reacts with some pollens, causing food allergies that coincide with the pollen season. This might be playing a minor role in some of my reactions, but it seems to be minor. I never have an itchy mouth, and my reaction seems more systemic. In other words, it affects my whole body, not just the mouth area, which is typical with oral allergy syndrome. Though I'm getting some very fast reactions to some foods, like when I put the raw lettuce in my mouth, like I felt dizzy within 5 seconds. I think it's being absorbed sublingually under the tongue, you know. That might be why raw is affecting me more, because raw vegetables are more watery. So when I chew them, they immediately go under the tongue and I get an immediate reaction. That could be it. I don't know. I think it's more than that. Oral allergy syndrome usually limits itself to the mouth area, which is why it's called oral allergy syndrome. And it often goes away once the food is digested. So I'm surmising that possibly my immediate reaction to raw cabbage, but not cooked cabbage, may be a form of oral allergy syndrome. You know, there's some pollen out there that's really bad. The pollen levels in Melbourne are high today. You can see the pollen all over the cars. You could make doodles and artwork with the pollen on the cars. It's that bad. It's just, you see a yellow film of like dust all over all the cars. And what's out now is bayberry, oak, and grasses, according to the pollen site. And all the levels are high, and I can tell, oh, my body's crazy right now. Just to test, just to see if it's really salicylate intolerance, I decided to try an organic, peeled, Granny Smith apple. They recommend when you have this problem, you peel all of your fruit. So I tried it, and oh man, it was a disaster. Like I just put it under my tongue, and I thought, oh, I'm feeling so dizzy. Stop this right now. So Granny Smith apples are very high in salicylates, and they just do not. It's a disaster. I can't take them. It'll make me sick. So, well, but organic raw celery is fine. And celery has like 0 salicylate, so that's really good for you. Well, I was kind of puzzled by iceberg lettuce because that's supposed to be 0 salicylates, and I reacted to that one. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm wondering if it could be oral allergy syndrome with that one. The pollens are increasing the allergic load my body has to deal with, thus making me more allergic to stuff that normally wouldn't bother me. So I predict when the pollen season is over, I'm going to be able to eat some of these foods that I can't eat. I suspect, here's what I think is going on with my body allergy-wise right now. I have yeast and mold allergy, pollen allergy, salicylate sensitivity, and multiple chemical sensitivities. It's common for people with salicylate intolerance to also have other allergies, especially multiple chemical sensitivities. This means I need to avoid foods high in salicylate content, eat organic as much as possible. And for yeast allergy, I need to avoid yeast and eat antibiotic-free meats. And of course, food needs to be mold-free too. Like if it's starting to rot, don't eat it. Besides getting food poisoning, for somebody with mold and yeast allergy, it's just a disaster. So what I do is when I eat my meal, I put my food back in the refrigerator right away. If you have allergy problems like I do, and this is spring, coming up here, and all the pollens are starting to come out, visit my health page. I created it for people like me who have to deal with allergies. And I have lists there if, like I'm on a limited budget, so I really can't afford to buy all organic. So what I'm doing is the foods that I don't have to buy organic, like cabbage and celery, so if the organic is available at Walmart, I'll get it. Like I bought organic cabbage and organic cauliflower. So if it's there, I'll get it. But if it's not there, like I had non-organic asparagus and it was fine. Asparagus, cabbage, and cabbage are some vegetables you can get non-organic and you might be okay if you have chemical sensitivities like I do. Anyways, go to my health page and check it out. I voted for Trump today. So if you live in Florida, early voting started today, and I think it's going to last till, if you're a Republican, here it is. Here it is. Early voting, Saturday, March 5th to Saturday, March 12th. Okay, if you go online, you can find your voting location. It's votebrevard.com. So, and that's for anybody who lives in this area. If you're in Florida, I think they're having early voting like that all over. I'm not sure. I think it's all over the state like that. So, yeah. You can also, anyways. So I voted for Donald Trump. There's no perfect presidential candidate. No matter who gets in office, the Jesuits are going to end up replacing them with clones every now and then. Like, there's a picture of Donald Trump with his finger pointing up like this. That was the clone. And some of the wild stuff like this, there was one interview with Donald Trump where he was saying, they were asking him, on CNN, do you denounce the KKK? And Trump was kind of vacillating on that. I think that was the clone too. Now, Trump can't go out on mainstream Jesuit news and say that that's his clone, but that's what I think was going on. What I try to do is vote for the candidates that I feel will be the most anti-Jesuit. In my opinion, the most anti-Jesuit candidates right now are number 1, Donald Trump, number 2, Hillary Clinton, number 3, Bernie Sanders, in that order. I could be wrong. But I said, no matter who gets in, the Jesuits are going to mess them up somehow. And I am the Empress, and I will override them if they start violating my conspiracy law and if they don't behave themselves. Like, I'm not going to tolerate any KKK behavior from Donald Trump. With Hillary Clinton, the problem that I've had with her is a couple times she's been kind of ornery with Vladimir Putin. And with Bernie Sanders, I don't know. I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to get elected. But, if he comes up, then I'll tell you how I'll deal with him. Those are the 3 that I think are the safest to vote for right now, that I think have a chance to be elected. Anyways, I just wanted to share with you that I voted today and how I'm dealing with my allergies. Please visit my health site if you are an allergic person, especially if you have food allergies. It might be very helpful for you. www.gabrielchana.com/health.html.